Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome to the Leo New Moon Astrology Forecast. My name is Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for watching this video live, and thank you to you guys that are watching the replay of this video. Please give this video a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you get notified of when I go live and when I upload videos. So today we're going to talk about the astrology of the new moon in Leo, which is happening tomorrow. Today is actually the dark day of the moon, and so I probably guessing that people are feeling a little bit more internal, a little bit more kind of processing things. It's the darkest day right before the new moon comes, and then we get that blast of that Leo energy. Although we are feeling a lot of Leo energy already because the sun is in Leo as well as the moon. But still, the darkest day of the moon right before the new moon is an intense day where we feel more retreated, like kind of the hermit. It's a little bit of a hermit energy. So anyways, we're going to talk about this, the astrology of this moon. I'm going to show you the chart, and we are going to go over all the details, all the aspects that the moon is making to the other planets, and what this means for us. And I will also go over each of the zodiac signs and tell you where the new moon is happening in your chart, based off of your sun, moon, and rising. So I'm really excited to share with you guys. I've been talking about it, but I think this might be the first kind of official announcement that next week, I can't believe it's already next week, but on the 27th of August, it's going to be, I believe, Thursday, we are doing the special webinar where I'm going to be covering the rest of the astrology for 2020. So we left off with the summer webinar, which you can still purchase on my website, or there's a link in the description. With that webinar, we left off at the end of the summer and the beginning of the fall. So with this webinar, we're going to start with the fall equinox, and we're going to go all the way beyond the winter solstice, all the way to the end of the year. And because I wanted to do it this way, because the rest of the year, there's only 4 months left, but the truth is that the transits between now and the end of the year are actually more intense than the transits that we saw between now and the beginning of the year. So it's very important that we are prepared, aware, and ready for what's coming next. And some of those transits, I will be telling you exactly where they're happening in your chart based off of your sun, moon, and rising. and I will tell you how they're going to be affecting us collectively. So it's going to be a very fun webinar. We will probably be live for 2 hours or maybe even longer. I guess I would say minimum of 2 hours. It's going to happen live on Zoom webinar. So you have to have Zoom. You have to download it onto your phone, or you can download it onto your computer. Works as well. There's a browser. I think it's zoom.us or something like that, but don't quote me on that. Everybody knows the little image of Zoom. It's the little video camera, but you'll have to, get Zoom. It's free. And then tune in through Zoom webinar if you want to watch it live, which gives you the opportunity to ask questions while I'm live. And that session will be recorded and then uploaded onto the website course webpage, where you have your own login and password. And anytime you sign up for a course from me, they're all there in the hub. So very excited about that. It is $27 event, and you can sign up anytime. And know that even beyond, even after the event is over, you will still be able to watch the replay as many times as you want to. I'm sure you guys will probably want to watch it a few more times than just once to really get the feel for what's coming next. This new moon in Leo is a very powerful new moon, and it'll be the last time that we see so much fire energy in the sky, which is very significant, and why I believe this is an opportunity for us to activate our passion and to use the element of fire to do the things that we want to do in our lives, to initiate the things that we want to do in our lives, because a new moon is an initiation. It is about setting intentions. It is a new beginning. It tells you where the cycle is going to flow towards. So we start with the new moon, and then 2 weeks later we have a full moon. And then 2 weeks later we have another new moon, which begins the cycle again. And so the moon, waxes and wanes, and we go through this process of moving with her through our emotional body, through our emotional system, through our mind as well, and all of the other planets affect us as well. But the moon and the sun, when they come together, when the moon and the sun come together, whether for a new moon or a full moon, which is a conjunction or an opposition, they speak to us very intensely, because the sun is our soul and the moon reflects the light of the sun, and it is our inner world, our emotions. So we are intensely affected by these new and full moons, and why there's so much focus. There's so much focus on the new and the full moon, and not really any other phases other than the squares, the quarter moons. Because in the quarter moons, there's a 90-degree square between the sun and the moon, and it creates tension, and it makes us feel uncomfortable, and it brings up a challenge that needs to be resolved. So that's the only other aspect between the sun and the moon that I think really is talked about. But of course, the new and the full moons, it's like the sun and the moon are talking to each other. And this affects us in a very, very personal way. And these cycles are always flowing, but the coolest thing about them is that they manifest an energy. They start an energy, especially the new moon. The new moon initiates an energy, it initiates a new cycle, and they become these portals where you can look at the energies that are happening and intuitively just flow with them. You don't really need to know all of this exact astrology, although it's kind of nice to get a report, to be able to watch something that tells you exactly what those energies are. But I believe that we can tap into those energies intuitively. And a lot of us, it's nice because these videos end up being more of an affirmation or a confirmation that you're already feeling all of this. You just couldn't exactly put words to it like astrology can put words to it. So that's the power of the new and the full moons. And there are some crazy eclipses coming up in November and December. And those eclipses are going to be very strong because they're going to be the very first eclipses that are aligning with the nodes in Gemini and Sagittarius. So it's the new eclipse cycle, the fully in that cycle. And this is destiny. And the solar eclipse is a total solar eclipse in Sagittarius. Those are two of the, and right? And eclipses only happen when it's a new moon or a full moon. So talking about the power of the new and the full moon and the power of eclipses, which are revolutionary. They stir things up. They also activate new paths. So imagine a full moon, but instead of a full moon, it's actually a solar eclipse or a total solar eclipse. So can you imagine the power of that new moon? It intensifies, because not only are the moon and the sun at the same degrees astrologically, but they are exactly conjunct astronomically, which means we can visually see the conjunction. An eclipse is literally us seeing the conjunction between the sun and the moon on a new moon. And the moon is always in front of the sun for a solar eclipse. The power of being able to see these eclipses is what has, for ancient civilizations, become the most important things. Because when they saw, especially solar eclipses, because they make the sky dark, and they sort of they change the dynamics. You enter into another dimension for a minute. So for them it was like the gods are creating a shift. Anyways, I'm kind of veering off track a little bit, but I just wanted to tell you that we're going to be talking about those transits, those eclipses, the winter solstice, the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction at 0 degrees of Aquarius, which is, in my belief, it's the first blast of Aquarian energy that's coming at us. Very exciting. And a bunch more aspects. Mars retrograde, Mars square, Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter. All those things we're going to talk about in the webinar. So make sure that you do not miss that event. Sign up on my website. There's a link in the description. So what we're going to do now, well, let me tell you about another thing that's happening tomorrow with the new moon. We have the episode 3 of the podcast going to be available tonight at midnight. And I'm so excited about it because I did an interview, but it was more of like a really awesome and fun conversation with K Moon. I don't know if you guys know K Moon. She's got her own channel. She's an amazing astrologer, and she focuses on twin flames, but she does general astrology readings as well for people. We had such a good time doing this episode, recording this episode, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. So the topic of the episode is actually the topic of the next 4 months. So we talk about what can we expect generally, and then what are our interpretations about it and our intuitions about the next 4 months, the remaining of the year, in a conversation style. So it'll be a little bit of a preview for you to get excited about the webinar, which we're actually going to dive into a lot of detail and look at the charts and look at where things are happening in each of your houses. So I'm really excited about tomorrow. If you have not subscribed to the podcast, please do. It is called Channel for Grace Uncut Podcast, and you can find it on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and pretty much all podcasting platforms. You could just search for it and it'll pop up, and then you subscribe. And if you are on Apple Podcasts, I would really appreciate it if you could give the podcast a rating. So like however many stars you want to give it, and also leave a written review, because that is what gets the podcast out there more to more viewers, and it helps me to grow, and not just to grow in terms of like my channel, but to actually help people with these topics that are so freaking important. Thank you guys for listening. Let's get into the actual topic of this new moon. So I'm going to transfer over to the chart, and then we can talk about it. And in the meantime, thank you everybody that's in here. Let's see who is in the chat. We got Wendy. Thank you for moderating. We have Ellie and Julene, Concrete Angel. Sheila's here. Jill is here. Tamika's here. Stacy, KB, Valerie, Sparky, Sanders. Chanel, Jessica, Abby, thank you for watching. And those of you guys that are not commenting in the chat, thank you for being here as well. So let me set this up. Tomorrow we are going to have our new moon ceremony. Hey, Zakira. We're going to have our new, and hey, John, we're going to have our new moon ceremony. Did you guys like the video that I put out this morning? I had so much fun making it. It was the video on the weekly report, which is a new thing I've been doing. I think this is the 3rd week. Yeah, it's been a blast. I've been having a blast. But I hope you guys really enjoyed it because I'm really, really excited about those new videos. I'm going to keep recording them in nature, as well as creating some really awesome scenes and just bringing in a lot more fun, playful energy on my part. So here is the new moon chart. Let me know if you can see it, and let me know if you can hear me still. And we will just dive right in. This is going to be such a fun new moon, you guys. I saw it just a bit ago. It was great. Nice. Beautiful day at the beach. The beach was amazing. Yes, the beach was the best part. The beach, the ocean kind of trumps everything when it comes to getting good shots and good images and videos and all kinds of stuff. Hi, Elena and Noel. Okay, so here is the chart. So we've got, here we go. This is Sun, Moon, and Mercury. So this is the first thing that you want to look at. You look at where the moon and where the sun is, of course, what sign they're in, and they have to be at exact degrees. Now, what's happening here is that you've got the conjunction, right? 26 degrees of Leo, and that's significant because Leo is this new moon, which should have happened when technically, when the moon was in Leo at the beginning of the Leo season. The reason it didn't happen is because we ended up having a double new moon in Cancer instead of a new moon in Leo. So we jumped straight to the full moon in Aquarius, and now we're having the new moon in Leo close to the end of Leo season. It's very strange phenomenon that's happening for a whole year. So know that every new moon will be towards the end of the season at the later degrees. So we're looking at 26 degrees when the degrees only go to 29. So this is called the 3rd decan of the Leo energy, which makes it strong Leo energy. And that's what I want to point out. The other thing that is important to recognize here is that Mercury is also at 28 degrees and in Leo. He's almost in Virgo, and Mercury travels fast, but for some reason for this moon, he's like, I'm going to hang out with you guys and I'm going to kind of give more energy into it. Now, Leo, the energy of Leo is ruled by the sun. And the cool thing about the sun is that it's not actually, we call it a planet in astrology, but it's not actually a planet, it's a star. So Leo commands attention. It's very magnetic. If you have a Leo moon like I do, or if you're a Leo, or if you have Mercury in Leo, you command people's attention. And it's a natural thing. It just happens. It's like, think about the lion in the jungle or whatever. Sahara, Savannah, whatever. Wherever the lions live, Africa, I think, usually. Unless they're in zoos, other places of the world, which kind of sucks. But think of the lion in its natural habitat and the fact that it just naturally rules. Like, it's not worried about whether someone's going to try to attack it because no one's going to try to attack a lion. The only way you can attack a lion is if you team up. If you're another lion and you're like, I'm going to fight with you because I'm going to fight for the power. But if you're not a lion and you're a different kind of animal, yeah, right, they're a rock star. If you're you have to team up. And some of you might not make it. So that's what I'm talking about. That's Leo. That's that Leo energy. It's not afraid because it doesn't need to be afraid. It's like the eagle. So take it over to North America. We got the eagle, or you could say even the condor too. But the condor is not necessarily. The condor is more yin-like energy. It's more of the divine feminine. The eagle, in North America, the bald eagle, which is the main representation of the eagle that we know of, it's a very masculine energy. And it is at the top. When the eagle comes around, all the other birds, they will take off. They'll be like, oh shit, the eagle's here. The same energy that the eagle has. Like, I am the king. The eagle is the king of the skies. The lion is the king of the jungle, or whatever. And that energy is exuded by that Leo energy. So why is this significant? Because it creates, for us, it invites us to activate this commanding energy. And so I was talking about the fact that I have a Leo moon, and the Leo moon is very magnetic. It has a gift of being able to, I think, not only like entertain people in some way. Excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze. So it has this ability to not only entertain people, but also like it loves being in the limelight. And that magnetism, when used for good, not in an ego way, that magnetism is what is that powerful energy that we're seeing with this new moon. So in this case, we've got the moon, the sun, and Mercury commanding to be seen, expressed, and felt. This is our minds, Mercury, thinking like a king or a queen. This is our soul, the sun, desiring to express itself in a very passionate way. And this is our emotions, the moon, charged in the same way. These three planets are magnetizing energy towards them, saying we are here and we will not bow down to anyone but ourselves, basically. We'll bow down to ourselves. Cause, okay, have you guys, anybody read Untamed by Glennon Doyle? The best line, there's a lot of good lines in that book. I would recommend you reading it. But the best story is in the beginning, where she talks about the cheetah. And no, the cheetah's not a lion, but it's kind of similar energy. It's like she says to the cheetah, and you got to read it. I don't want to ruin it for you, but she gets to the cheetah, and when the cheetah's like kind of doubting herself, she goes, "No, you're not crazy. You're a goddamn cheetah. You got to just remember who you are." And that's what I think this new moon is telling us. I should have titled the video that, "You're a goddamn cheetah." I wonder how many views it would have got. Oh, that's so funny. So Leo rules the fifth house, and the fifth house is creativity, it's romance, it's passion, it's also children. These are the themes that are being activated or, affected right now. And the new moon is also, like I said, at the last degrees. So this is the last decan. Okay, that's just looking at the sun, moon, and Mercury. So what are these guys saying to everybody else? We've established what's happening at center stage. Literally, Leo is the stage. It's drama. It's the actor or the actress. So we've established what's happening at center stage. So what is going on next? What are they saying to the other planets? Well, there are quite a few powerful formations in the sky that this moon is making with other planets. So I'm going to do my best to kind of tell the whole story, show you them separately, and then tell the whole story. So there's a grand trine, first of all. The moon, sun, and Mercury are trining Mars. So here they are. They're trining Mars. They are also trining the south node. And the south node and Mars are also trining each other. So that is called a grand trine. A grand trine in fire, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, activates our passion. Mars gives the power of action. You've got the sun dignified in Leo. It rules the sign of Leo. You've got Mars dignified in Aries. That is very significant because these guys are trining. We are getting ready for the square from Mars to Saturn. That happens next week, but it's already here. Just not exact yet. Here's Saturn, 26 degrees. Mars is at 24. Mars just needs to go 2 more degrees forward, and it's going to exactly square Saturn, and that happens next week. But this is happening energetically already. It's just going to intensify. So it's part of this new moon. So this grand trine is saying the past is something that we can learn from, and we have to learn from it. But the past, in this case, South Node Sag, is old belief systems that no longer work. It's going back to the old ways of learning about something, the old ways of doing things in terms of our faith, our beliefs, and Sagittarius rules the 9th house of spirituality and religion and spiritual teachers. So it's almost like the old ways are dying and we need to look towards another place, but we can look there for the lessons learned. And then we can take action, right? In our lives, Mars, we can start to take action that makes sense. And that action is activating our full on power, our heart, the lion's heart. These are the things that we truly love and believe in. And that's a beautiful grand trine. Grand trines are powerful transits in the sky that are positive. It's a positive thing. Squares are difficult, oppositions are difficult, but trines are harmonious energies. They help each other. When planets are trined or sextile, they're helping each other. Now, here's the next thing. Mars, well, let's start with again. So what else is the moon, Mercury, sun doing? Well, it's sextiling the north node. But at the same time, so is Mars. So what does that make? It makes a kite. And when you look at a kite, you got to look at, well, where is it pointing to? So where it's pointing to is right here. North node. Destiny. The new way of getting information. The new way of doing things. Communication. Clear communication. Curiosity. Finding your own facts. Figuring it out yourself. Talking to people. Staying connected to people right here in the present, around you, in your vicinity. Mercury also rules, it's the mind, and it's communications, all types of communications. So it's also internet, emails, transportation too. However, Mercury rules more of like transportation through the immediate sort of cars and bicycles and things like that, and trains and things like that, while Sag rules travel, but international travel. So this is like home travel, and then South Node is international travel. That's why right now it's not a good idea to travel, because you never know, you might get stuck somewhere else. You don't know, the borders are acting funny. Countries are having to make decisions about whether they're going to let people in or not, people in or out. That's why right now with South Node in Sagittarius, whenever the South Node is in Sagittarius, it's not really a good time to travel. Of course, there's exceptions, But there is a need to be careful and be aware and always have another plan B. But this kite is pointing towards that north node, saying there's a way out. You channel all that energy. You channel all that Leo energy, all that Mars and Aries energy, and the lessons that you learned from here. You channel that to the north node, to the destiny, the collective destiny. So that's what's working for us in this new moon. What is working a little bit or maybe a lot against us is the Mars square Saturn, which is not exact yet, but it's pretty close, just 2 degrees away. The Mars square Pluto, which is still happening, only 2 degrees from Pluto. So now we're seeing both at the same time. And pretty much, Mars square Jupiter too. So these squares that's the ones that are creating the tension. What do these guys represent? Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter in Capricorn represents government, represent corporations, represent money, like big money, represents success as well, structures of control, restrictions. And these 3 planets are 3 huge players. Pluto's an outer planet, and Saturn and Jupiter are next in line. So this is more than just personal planets. This is a communication between, it's like the gods. The gods are talking to each other, and we are over here trying to figure out what's going on. So it's important to always, because the North Node is in Gemini, and I'm going to keep reiterating that fact, is you got to find the information right here. You can't just trust anything anybody says. That is the challenge. That's what's challenging us with this moon. But there is another aspect that is really, really interesting. And it is a yod. And a yod is a finger of God. The yod points towards either resolution, how to channel energy, how to move beyond the quincunxes, because the quincunxes are what makes up the yod, but beyond those sort of hard aspects towards something different. And it's important, very, very important, because it's pretty much an exact quincunx to Saturn from, I love that I can change. I'm playing with colors. You like the new color scheme chart? So the moon is sextiling the North Node. This is right, 26 degrees. Well, what's the quincunx to Saturn? Look at this. Saturn is also 26 degrees. And then look at this. The North Node is 27. That's only 1 degree away. That's almost an exact yod. And, of course, North Node is quincunxing Saturn too, which makes it a yod. Okay? So it's pointing towards Saturn. So what does this mean? When you kind of split it apart, you start with Moon, quincunx, Saturn. This creates a difficulty in maintaining harmony in our relationships. There's stress because Saturn is causing things to feel really heavy and important, and causing us to forget our true desires, right? That's Leo. Our true desires are Leo. Saturn is like, hey, there's something you need to pay attention to here. You can't just like go play and have fun like a child, because that's what the Leo energy can be. When the Sun quincunxes Saturn, this is creating an imbalance between self-expression and a heavy sense of responsibility. We feel like we are struggling to fulfill our own personal needs without neglecting our obligations. And this creates inner tension. It's almost like if I do this, then that could happen. And you might hurt somebody or disillusion somebody. But you have to trust your true inner soul desires right now, especially if it doesn't make sense. to hurt somebody or to put yourself first. Leo's going to put himself first no matter what. We need to remember to put ourselves first. And then what happens when Mercury quincunxes Saturn? Well, this means putting things in order is going to require us exercising positive judgment as to how to get these things that we want done, like the large projects that we envision, our dreams, to manifest into reality. And then when any kind of aspect towards the nodes are made, right? So this is the quincunx to the north node. This is saying, well, you have to know that the place where the most power is going to come from is outside of your comfort zone. It's outside of your comfort zone. So what does this mean? Yes, there's things that we need to pay attention to. There's things that are important. There's responsibilities that we have. And we do need to be responsible over things that we can control. But right now, with Mars squaring Saturn or Saturn squaring Mars, we're being challenged. And we're going to feel like we're wanting to do one thing over here. Then we're being asked to do this thing over here. And it doesn't feel good because that's no fun. That Capricorn, Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn is no fun. It's not fun. And we want to have fun. Girls just want to have fun, you know? Love life. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. That's what we want. So how do you find the balance? And I think that's what the North Node comes in. You gotta remember there's more to this than meets the eye. And there's a better future. But this is the last time we're going to see all this fire energy. And what does fire energy do? Fire energy activates your passion. It makes you want. It makes you want something. It makes you desire something so bad that you're going to do it because you love yourself, not as an egotistical thing, because you feel courageous and you feel strong. And the most important thing above all of those emotions is you're confident. Confidence is probably the most important thing that we can remember right now. To stay true to ourselves. I want to share with you the Sabian symbol for this moon because I think it's hilarious. So Leo at 26 degrees is a man walks out on his front porch at daybreak. The paper boy throws a newspaper, which lands squarely at his feet, revealing a sensational headline. This is about revelations. Let me quit something just to make sure that'll help. It's having a little bit of trouble. It's a little bit delayed. Okay. This is about revelations. This is about sensational developments in the news. This is about new facts that make one see the overall situation in a surprising new light. This can be a rude awakening. This can also be the ugly secrets coming to light, chasing the spotlight, promoting oneself by chasing photo opportunities or by uttering newsworthy sound bites, revealing a secret in a grand manner. This is about guarding your personal secrets until the right moment, working for fundamental change through actions relevant to the cultural or political situation. This is awakening people from the grip of some common myth by circulating startling new facts. This is being in the dark versus seeing a glimmer of truth. This is seeking further enlightenment by soliciting other people's opinions and piecing together the truth, important new developments versus mere sensationalism. I mean, come on. like, to me, that is so clear of a message. It's not even funny. It's so clear. It's not, I mean, wow. What do you guys think about that? I mean, my mind is blown about this information specifically. That's just one planet. I mean, basically one sign, 1 degree. The Sabian symbols are really fun. So what do you, I mean, I don't know. I feel like we might see some truth kind of come out. Some truth's about to come out. That's what we're going to see. I'm feeling that very strongly. So let me look into the chat. That's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover. Thank you guys for being here. But I think if you guys have questions, feel free to put them in the chat right now, and I will answer some of your questions about this transit, this moon, all of this stuff. Thank you guys for coming in and watching this video. Make sure that if you came in late, we have a special webinar coming up next week on Thursday. Make sure to sign up for that. We're going to talk about the astrology of the rest of the year. You don't want to miss it. I'll tell you where a lot of this stuff is happening in your chart, as well as how it's affecting us collectively. And remember, this is the last chance we're going to see all this fire energy. We got to take advantage of it. We got to let that passion fire you up. Like I've been totally fired up with passion lately. Super passion. Like doing things that I'm like, wow, I took a leap of faith. I've been taking like little leaps of faith in my life and realizing I'm taking leaps of faith, and that's okay. And it feels good, and it feels like I'm doing the right thing, and that's what you got to follow, your passion, because Leo is your passion. Yeah, so that's happening August 27th. And at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, you can sign up on my website. There's a link in the description. We'll do the event live, and you can ask questions live if you join us on the Zoom webinar, which means you have to have Zoom to watch. And then we'll record it. I'll record it and I'll upload it onto the course portal. Here's a question. How can we see it play out in real life? Actually, you're right. I should go through where it's happening in your chart. I almost forgot. You just like totally reminded me of that. So I'll go through that. Generally, each sign and what it means for you. I'll do that in a moment. I was wondering, how should I set my intentions for this new moon? I have absolutely no fire in my chart. How can this help me? So you actually do have fire in your chart. You just probably don't have any planets that are in fire, but you do have a house that it has that fire energy. So you focus on those things because that's where the moon is going to be affecting you in your chart. I can't wait for the webinar either. So if you're in Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising, let me know in the chat. This moon is going to be happening in your 5th house of creativity. And so this is powerful because Leo naturally rules the 5th house. So this is a very strong activation. You're going to feel like creatively there's maybe a lot of things that you want to do. You want to take action because you've got basically Aries in your Mars in your 1st house of the self, and then you've got the new moon in the 5th house of creativity. So this is you yourself taking action towards what you're passionate about. If you are a Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising, let me know in the chat. This is happening in your 4th house of the home. So this affects you at home. This affects you in relationships at home. This affects you all of the realm of home. So like parents, the mother. The 4th house is ruled by the moon. And she's the mother. And so this is our relationship to the mother. The moon, the mother is in the house of home. So this is how is your passion being activated at home? Maybe this is about working on things at home that inspires you, and that's what you need to focus on. So if you're a Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising, the moon is going to happen in your third house of communication. So let's think about, what does that mean? You rule the third house, so this feels comfortable for you. I think what you're going to be doing is commanding a lot of attention by how you speak, how you write, how you express yourself. All of those things are going to take center stage. Communication is going to take center stage for you. So you have to use that strength, that magnetism. People are going to want to listen to you. They're going to want to hear what you have to say. Use it wisely. If you're a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this is happening in your second house of finances and values. So the Moon and the Sun and Mercury in your second house, this is about you. You're commanding attention in the realm of how you bring money into your life, how you attract money. This is a magnetism. Remember, we're becoming magnets for these houses. So depending on how you use your energy, that's what you will attract to that area of your life. And what do you value? What values are you attracting into your life? Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising this is the first house. So this is about you. This is about your self-identity. This is about an activation of very powerful activation of who you are. This grand trine in fire is going to make you want to truly be yourself like you've never been before, like you've never expressed yourself before. You need to let yourself do whatever it is your heart truly desires. Creatively, inspirationally, passionately, very passionately. So Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is happening in your 12th house of the subconscious mind. So this is a magnetism of like downloads, messages from the beyond, messages from spirit, messages from your spirit guides. You're naturally connected to the 12th house because you're opposing it. And so you naturally have all of this thing in the background that says, okay, I can bring this into this reality and say, hey, I heard this message and I'm going to channel it through everything I do. I'm going to channel it through my work. I'm going to channel it through my life. I'm going to channel it through everything I do. I'm going to channel it through my service. So you're opened up, and you're also, because Leo is that it wants to be seen. These things are going to want to be seen in your life. If you're a Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this will happen in your 11th house of friends and sharing your gifts with the world. So you will become like the friend that wants the attention, but it's for a good cause, because your heart's true desires is to share your gifts with the world fully on blast, with the Sun dignified in Leo and the Moon and Mercury in Leo. You're going to feel like expressing yourself fully, and that what that means is that you naturally evoke, your gifts come through, and you end up being of service to the world in that way. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this is happening in your 10th house of career. Go and be in center stage. Like, go and do your thing. Show up fully. Fully. No if, and, or but. This is a time for us to fully commit. You got to be all in. In all of these areas of your life that I'm telling you about, you got to be all in. Not halfway. Leo doesn't do halfway. Lions, kings, queens, they don't do halfway. That's not a choice. That's what you have to remember. You got to uphold your energy. And if you're going to be a king or a queen in your life, in any of these areas of your life, you need to hold that energy. And that's that confidence and that courage that the decisions that you're making are the best ones for you. So focus on what's important career-wise for you, on what you want to activate passionately, creatively in career, and let that be what moves you forward. You will attract a lot of cool things if you focus on what your heart truly desires, because that's Leo. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is happening in your 9th house of spiritual integration. I love this house. It is one of course, the spiritual houses are my favorite. I have a little bit of a bias, though, because I have always been drawn to spirituality and things like that. So what is this all about, Sagittarius? This is about you stepping into your own power in terms of your own beliefs and faith and belief systems. This is also your soul, your emotions, and your mind all coming together in the 9th house. They're like, we are here and we are looking through the eyes of this king, queen energy at this world of spirituality. So what do these planets see from your eyes? What do they see? And what do they want to do? That's how you got to think about it. For Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this will happen in your 8th house of change. So this is going to feel like right now, there's a big shifting energy. There's some kind of a symbolic or maybe literal death that's happening in your life that is throwing you, magnetizing towards you, such a massive shift and transformation where you will have no choice but go through a rebirth. That's the energies that you're feeling. So this will show up in your life in little things, but also in big things. What is changing? And how is your soul, your emotions, and your mind seeing the change? Are you being courageous through it? Are you being strong through it? Are you being the king and the queen through it? That's what you got to ask yourself. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is happening in your 7th house of relationships. So this is cool because you have an opportunity here to express your passion with others, to express your creativity with others. When it comes to romantic partnerships, of course, that's fun. When it comes to, that's like fun and games, right? When it comes to, because remember, Leo is fun and games. No seriousness here. Fun, games, excitement, the stuff that makes you happy, love, optimism, fun. However, when it comes to business relationships in your 7th house, Aquarius, this is an activation of passion and creativity through creative projects that are going to bring a lot of money because you're going to get a lot of attention. This is Aquarius, you're getting attention. People, your relationships are watching you. The people you are in relationship they're drawn to you. In all of these places, you're magnetizing things, you're bringing things, you're drawing things to you. So is what you're drawing to you what you actually want to draw to you? That's what you got to ask yourself. And last but not least, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is happening in your 6th house of work and being in the present moment, the house of Virgo, the house of health too. So in terms of work, what I could see this manifesting as is you're drawing a lot of attention to yourself at work in a good way. Maybe you're the one that's saying, let's have a little more fun. Let's do something that's a little bit more fun. How can we make this fun? You might be drawing in energy of attracting people because you seem to have a lot of confidence that maybe other people are lacking, or a lot of courage that other people are lacking. And this goes also with, you got to take control of your life. Your daily schedule should be fun right now. Should be something that you love doing, that makes you passionate. Your work, you should be passionate about your work as well. You should be ecstatic about what you're doing. So I'm giving you guys how you should be feeling because I want you to know that there's going to be always a choice. Opportunities are presented to us, fire energy coming to us, and we can grab it and use it to our advantage and use it to move forward in life, or we can ignore it and choose to focus on all the negative stuff and watch everything just fall apart and all the opportunities just pass. So that's what's important right now. I'm so glad whoever asked that question reminded me to do that, because I would have been so mad at myself if I hadn't done that. So if you have like a Leo sun, Leo moon, and maybe Mercury in Leo, and if you're a Leo rising, can you imagine how much Leo energy you're feeling right now? Whether you have all of those in Leo or just one. And also, whatever other planet is in Leo in the later degrees, maybe even 26 degrees of Leo in your chart, they're being conjuncted too by this moon. So it's like more. That's going to be intense. If you have a lot of Leo in your chart, like this moon, like blast off. Tomorrow's going to be fun. Tomorrow, let's like have a blast at the new moon ceremony. Because the next moon is going to be a Pisces. It's going to be a Pisces. Well, see, this gets confusing because normally there's an order that's backwards here. Next week, in 2 weeks, we're going to see a full moon in Pisces, which is also going to be cool, but that's water. And then after that, there's going to be a new moon in Virgo, but that's Earth, you know? And so it's going to be a little while before we actually see this much fire energy. So cool thing about the full moon in Aries that will happen after the full moon in Pisces, that's going to be a cool moon because there's going to be some moon Mars energy there. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. Moving on. Thank you everyone so much for being here. This was a very awesome broadcast to do. I hope to see you tomorrow for the new moon ceremony at same time, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, here on this channel. Invite your friends. You can watch it on your TV and stuff. That's always fun. And get ready to set some powerful intentions. Leo, baby, Leo. So I hope to also see you guys next week for the Fall 2020 special webinar. And if you have not downloaded the podcast or subscribed to it, please do, because episode 3 comes out tonight at midnight. And I can't wait for you guys to hear it. Oh, did you realize that I intuitively planned my podcasts so that they always come out on new and full moons? Like, I just think that's so cool. Of course I would do that without even thinking about it. So, yes to new and awesome things. Thank you so much, everybody. And I will see you tomorrow. Sat Nam.